in the mirror without the flash. So what it would see is it would see you taking a picture of you, taking a picture of you, taking a picture of you.
Yeah.
So
that's what this is. And so we began, first of all, we began buying a domain name for $1. And we used one and one.com because it was like cheaper, right? Cheap. We got that.
99 cents, and they don't charge you until the end of the year.
No, they charge you right now 99 cents. They will. At the end of the year, they will charge you 15.
No, actually, it's a deferred cost. They actually don't collect it.
Huh. I did not know.
Yeah, but you don't own it and they don't own it. But at the end of the year, they take it and there's no way to get it back. So they're going to keep it. So it's debited from your account, but they didn't take it. So it's in Flex.
I see.
Which is weird because they sent me a notice saying, do you know that this did not reach its destination from my bank? I was like, I don't care. As long as that's on them. I'm like, I don't know.
So, yep. So we got a domain. The next thing we began doing with it is to use the mail services. And to use mail services, we need a mailbox, a mail server. And we used, what did we use? We used google.com/A is where you find it actually. That's where Google Apps for Work is available as a trial. So we took the trial and then configured our MX records in 1&1 DNS settings. And that enabled us to check our email and got it to work. So we, in this exercise, what we did is we set up MX records and got email to work correctly, right? And we also did a TXT record to verify our ownership of the domain. Right? This is what we did the last time. What did we do today? What we did was to make it easier for our people in our company, for them to remember. How do you check email? So you go to this address. It's easier for them to remember than to remember the alternative, which is kind of hard. The alternative is
/A's.
It's very hard to remember. So we make it simpler by giving them what is known as an alias, like Bob or Rob or Robert. And that alias we chose was mail. And we made it a pointer to ghs.googlehosted.com for the mail subdomain in 1&1. Right? And we did the same thing again for sites, Drive, for calendar, for groups, for whatever you can do actually. You can do it for whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. For example, we discussed this idea of B, A. We also discussed my handicraft dot. And you can create whatever you want. Like, do you coach soccer? Or basketball. So basketball.coachkc.com, or rather DevOpskc.com to be precise. And so you can create basketball sites for your basketball audience just like that, if you like. So that's what we did. The next. Why do we do this? To make it easy on the users, so that they can find the services that they're looking to find. For example, if somebody wants to go to the Drive, you can go to drive.madhusarkar.com and find it, as opposed to some complex name. Or they can go to calendar.madhusarkar.com as opposed to Where do I go and look at my calendar again? That one. So this, you can put it whatever you like. And that's how we did. Then we did another thing. We found out that we need to improve our security. So we incorporated two key things. And they were
SPF and DKI.
Yeah. So we began by looking at this setting called mail by. And you see that here, when you receive an email, you see that this guy from Boeing company is mailed by Boeing.com, right? So this guy who's mailing is mailed by Boeing, as an example. It doesn't show signed by. You know why? Because they use Office 365, and Office 365 doesn't support signed by yet. So we see only this part. And you implement this part, SPF record, Center Policy Framework record, which eventually is responsible for showing the mailed by entries. And you do that by creating a TXT record, and you add this exact line if you happen to be using Google Mail services. If you're using other services, you will replace this line with something else. If you set up your own box for mail server on the internet and add a software called Postfix or another software called SendMail, and you run these two open source, one of these two open source software on your own box in the cloud, and you get an IP address for that box, you put the IP address right here. And then your email will be mailed by properly from your domain. Since in our example, we are using a hosted service, software as a service from Google Cloud, we use this particular string and shown in line number 9, which makes it look as if email coming from your box in Google appear to be coming from madhusarkar.com. Email coming from your box in Google, it is your box in Google that you rented, appears to be coming from madhusarkar.com or devopskc.com or whatever. Next one is this. In this example, what we did was this idea of signed by your machine, signed by, and that entry becomes available through this method called domain key identified mail, DKIM, which requires a piece of signature from the machine that is sending. It is supposed to be signed by. And so you generate that signature by asking the mail machine, mailbox, the mail server itself, hey, would you please give me a signature? And so here is the key. That key is available in line number 8. You get that from Google because we are using Google as an example to generate our mail. So they gave us this long signature. We take that signature, copy it, and put that as a TXT record with a prefix. And the prefix was this one. And for that prefix, we paste this entry. And then we go back to Google and tell them we did. And when we tell them we did, it says, yes, you're authenticating and all good stuff. And then email appears to be not only coming from you, but also signed by you. You see that in your email. You see this. You see mailed by your company and signed by your company, which is the right way. We also discussed the fact that anybody else on the internet can pretend to be you and send emails as if it is coming from your company, and you can prevent that. And you can enforce discipline by using these techniques, which we just discussed, which are the DKIM technique and the SPF technique. And that's the summary. Good?
Really good.
Okay. Let's go to the next topic.